Let's do it.
What's up, everyone? I'm Greg.
I'm Brian. We're back.
We're D Minus Chats, and we are magicians.
Back.
We're sorcery.
Oh,
back. Back attack. Mac attack. Back in the back. Fracking.
That's unethical. Okay, that's beside the point. Allow me to explain what happened with us as of recent. So with D Minus Chats, our music review channel and our general music talk channel, we took a bit of a hiatus. Here is exactly what happened. Back in January of this year, 2017, we put out our New Year's video, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun making it with all of our friends, and
it was awesome.
Yeah, and then in that, we were gearing up for a big 2017. We're like, yeah, we're going to review all these albums.
Hell yeah.
It didn't go
Did
far.
We?
No, because
No.
this is what happened. AFI, the band AFI, released an album that was
A Fire Inside. That's what AFI, A Fire Inside. That's what the acronym stands for. What else can AFI stand for? All freaks inside.
AFI's
a freezing insect.
AFI's most recent album was so boring that when we tried to review it, we both died.
That's the truth. And if you don't like the truth, you can fuck right off, because this is a channel for truthers, not cowards like you slimy, ignorant fool. I'm sorry that I called arts. You're great. You're fantastic. You're so great. I'm going to share this link on Facebook. What should I say? This is, isn't this cool? It's like I'm posting on Facebook. I'm doing, I bet you're all like, I wish I could be on D Minus Chats. Well, you can watch me be on D Minus Chats. It's almost the same, but you can be on D Minus Chats because we're going to hang out with you guys while we make videos now. So you can come in the chat, you can comment on stuff. I'll respond to it for every album we're going to do, because that's what we like to do here at DMC Incorporated.
Yeah.
Are we an LLC yet?
No, we're not. Yeah. We had business cards at one point.
I still do.
Oh, nice.
You want some? I can send some to you in the mail. Or I can send them to your pager or your Palm Pilot.
That would be enjoyable.
Okay, we review. No, we don't really review. We talk about music like we usually do. Yeah, all right, cool.
We review new releases. We have other music talk features, and also Greg and I are crazy individuals.
Hell and yeah.
We like to make each other smile, and we like to make you smile as well. That's why we're doing this. Me? I do. I'm gonna tickle you, Pally.
It makes me smile. It makes me smile. You gonna touch my little tummy? Touch my little fucking tummy.
It's very very unsettling.
Titillating. No, it's tentacular. What sound would this make? If this was to make a sound. No, I'm gonna keep doing it till you.
It's like a cricket.
No, that doesn't count. You have to do something original. Fucking freak. What does this say to you? What does this say to your soul? What does this say to your soul?
It tells me that I should stop going to the car wash, the kind that you ride in your vehicle. Okay.
I think that's a fine answer. All right, so we are live. I'm going to share this on Facebook, and yeah, man. We are going to, Brian, tell the fine people what we're doing right now.
We are here right now because we are going to talk about 3 albums each that we picked that, for the most part, critically and not critically, were not well received. We're gonna talk about albums that, for the most part, people didn't like, but we did. And
Yeah.
I bet you can't guess who picked what.
Bet you can't. And if you can guess, that's just great because you're going to be right.
Mhm.
Okay. So who should start? Why don't you start? This was your idea.
Okay, it was.
Okay.
It was my idea. Right after I share what? Oh, you shared it on my timeline. Oh God,
I shared it on
What-
your timeline.
did you?
I didn't share it on your timeline. No.
No, you didn't. Ah, damn
No,
it.
I just shared
Hang
it.
on now.
You're crazy.
Okay.
You're crazy.
Hey, how about
You're crazy.
I'm gonna share this. How about you go first?
I'm not going to go first. I'm going to download the album covers so I can.
I didn't do that.
I mean, I'm just going to download the first one really quick. You get to watch us in our beta phase because we've never done this before. So I'm going to. Oh man! All right, I'm just going to download the
You
first
do
one real
that.
quick.
We're getting some hype. We're getting some hype right now.
We're getting some hype.
We're-
So far, we have
we are
no
we're
viewers, which is good.
acquiring hype.
We need to buy hype from the store.
I need to purchase a bag of hype.
Where do you go to purchase hype? 7-Eleven? Do you buy hype
Something
from
like
the
that.
black market? Do you partake in market exchanges in the black market?
I personally do not. I can't say that I do, and I don't mean to be a burden on you
You're
or to be
burdening me.
a disappointment.
You're disappointing me as well.
While we are getting some album covers that we can show you, we are talking about albums that, for the most part, were not well received,
Yes.
and but we like them.
Well,
and
is
we're-
it strictly critically poorly received, or is it just people just generally don't like? Because I mean, one of my albums was well received, but gets shit on by a lot of fans.
If it gets a good amount of shit, in general, like at all, it's fine. And yeah,
good.
I've got some interesting, semi-controversial picks. So
Okay, good. That's going to be fun
is
then.
it time? Should I go first?
I think you should go first.
Okay, cool. So being that this is how we're doing things right now, and we are live, we don't have studio movie magic that our previous videos have. Thing is, I don't give a fuck about that. So
Hell yeah.
I'm going to talk about an album right now that was not well received, and I don't think that it deserves the hate that it got. It's a brand new
Tell me about
album.
it.
It was actually released this month. The band
great.
is called Prophets of Rage.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about the Prophets of
This-
Rage.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it right
that's
there.
it. Prophets
Prophets of Rage, the musicians from Rage Against the Machine and Audio Slave.
Whoa. Okay, but more than that, though.
Yeah. So
Go
you
on.
get the right, I know. So not only do you get Tim Comerford, Brad Wilk, and Tom Morello, you get on vocals not just Chuck D from Public Enemy,
Not
But
only
all-
him,
also Be Real from Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill. Hell yeah. If that doesn't sound like a stellar lineup to any alternative metal rap fans, I don't know what the fuck to do with you at this point. You can just go suck a tailpipe for all I care. Go into
You're
the
just-
back parking lot of a Denny's and you can do whatever you want. You can smoke a lot of weed real quick.
You're a goddamn nuisance, is what you
I'm
are.
sorry.
Yeah, that
So you
lineup.
didn't like Prophets of Rage.
Well, on paper, that lineup is killer, but
Yeah.
in execution, absolute tank. And not just because critics destroyed this album.
Oh, really? I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
ratings
Critiques of it.
ranged from okay, well, this is fine to holy crap, this sucks. And and not to mention just listeners who comment on stuff publicly that don't have to be as diplomatic. Yeah, very not well received. Here's my thing. No, I didn't love it. I absolutely didn't love it, but I don't think that it deserves the hate that it got. This is interesting. the musician guys from Rage and Audioslave, they were doing, it's weird. Sounds like they were writing songs that, if here is Rage Against the Machine musically and here is Audioslave musically, it was right in the middle. It actually sounded musically like a hybrid of both of those bands, and it totally worked.
Oh,
yeah.
It did work?
Yeah, absolutely. It was great.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool. Now, I think a lot of people were, like when you hear that kind of music, you either expect to hear Zach or Chris. You feel me?
Yes.
Right.
Two of my best friends.
So not only is it a departure, I think that's a little bit jarring for some people to now get used to new vocalists with that sort of sound. That's not what bothered me. It actually sounded fine. Even when it sounded like they were playing a straight ahead rock song like Audioslave would record, it actually made sense hearing a couple of rappers on it. So it was okay. Here is where we start to lose things and we start to derail ourselves.
I'm live now, but give me pizza.
Yo, you got pizza?
Hold on. I got pizza.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Hit me with that shit.
Okay.
I know, I'm psyched. Oh, yeah. Oof. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Papa John.
It's a pizza break. Oh, nice.
Papa bless. All right.
You were given that from the heavens.
Thank you, heaven.
What a story.
So, as you were saying, I'm sorry.
Okay, so musically things are working for Prophets of Rage. Here's what I don't love about it. I don't think there are many worse things in music than aging rappers.
Oof.
Because Chuck D consistently sounds out of breath on this entire thing.
That's too bad.
And I'm not really much of a Cypress Hill fan, so I don't love Be Real's voice. It does. I know. Yeah.
I'm moaning at you in desperation because I myself am a Public Enemy fan and a Cypress Hill fan.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. You go on.
No, it's okay. Lyrically, though, this is the biggest disappointment.
Really?
Yeah, totally. Because you think how socially conscious Public Enemy was and Rage Against the Machine, like how opinionated this collection of musicians, like the lyrics are just very whatever. They're very middle of the road. I'm not going to call them lazy. I'm not going to call them uninspired. I'm probably going to say that the lyrics are safe. And for a first effort, you really didn't want safe for these guys, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
So is the album socially conscious? Kind of. Is it politically leaning? Not really. It's very not anything.
I heard when Moreo was thinking about reforming with the guys from Rage Against the Machine, they decided to get Chuck D and Be Real. I was under the impression that they did that specifically because of the American political climate today. So I am surprised. I'm not going to bring politics into this. I wouldn't want to do that. We're about music here, but it is difficult to talk about Public Enemy and Rage Against the Machine without talking about politics in some sense.
Right.
I was under and our political climate, meaning the Trump presidency. I'm surprised that it was not very cogent politically. I mean, is that what you're saying? Am I correct?
Yeah,
Understand?
very, very much so. Yes. Nothing is outwardly. A lot of it's very buried. So if they have themes that are specific, it's very buried. You can honestly listen to a song and miss it. Even if you're listening for it, you very well may miss their direct point. But also, like, lyrically, Rage Against the Machine under Zach De La Rocha, but definitely Public Enemy under the direction of Chuck D. Like, lyrically they took a lot of risks and they were so specific and like really
Yeah.
passionate and fiery. This is not that at all. So, but getting back to it, I know I'm talking shit about this now, and I'm stating my gripes, but the thing is, the songs are pretty good.
Did you like The Party's Over?
No.
The only thing I know about the music on this album is that the riff in The Party's Over was lifted from a Tool and Rage Against the Machine collaboration that was an unreleased demo called Revolution. Do you know that?
I did not know that. That's pretty
kind of cool. It's kind of cool song. Hearing Maynard James Keenan and Zach De La Rocha trade vocal duties is kind of cool. But you know, that's all I know. It's a kind of cool song. But okay, that's a shame.
There are cool songs on it. I like Unfuck the World.
Oh, cool.
I do. It's a really cool song. I like Living on the 110. I like The Counteroffensive is really cool. So it's a good album if you just kind of want to listen to something that's kind of rhythmically toe tapping and a little bit heavy, and it's kind of cool as long as you don't read into it.
As a Rage Against the Machine fan, a Public Enemy fan, and a Cypress Hill fan, will I like it?
Nope.
Bummer. All right.
Bye. Good
My
night.
turn.
Yep.
My turn. So this is, I think, is going to make Brian giggle. And I'm excited because I love to hear you giggle. As we stated before, we love to make each other giggle. I'm gonna I'm gonna show the album, and then Brian, tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay.
Wait, keep that up for a sec. Keep that up.
Okay, hold on. Give me a sec.
Take a good look at that. People hate Metal Machine music, okay? Really, people hate Metal Machine music. This is not Velvet Underground Lou Reed. This is not Take a Walk on the Wild Side Lou Reed. This is not anything Lou Reed has ever done. And here's the best part about this, and this is why I'm giggling. You, Greg, fucking hate Lou Reed.
I know. He sucks. There were a couple tracks on Blue Mass that were kind of cool. I like a couple tracks on White Light, White Heat. But that's John Cale who was doing that good shit in Velvet Underground.
Yeah,
I hate John Cale. I hate Lou Reed.
Yeah.
I think he's terrible. But you know what I do love? Drone and noise and experimental electronics and albums that came out in like the 70s that set the standard for noise albums to be released thereafter. I think those are cool. I am pretty into early electronic music, like stuff from like the 50s, 60s. I think are pretty cool, like generally done by composers that fall under the Western canon, you know. Like Stockhausen, I think is cool, but Lou Reed does not fall under that category because he is a low down, dirty bastard from the streets of the Big Apple, New York Slammin' City, and he came out with this album, and it was. I think the story behind it was to fulfill a contract, right? Like they.
Oh, is that right?
It's something like that.
He was Neil Young before Neil Young did what Neil Young did.
Right. It was something like he had to fulfill a contract, and he had to make an album, or he, for some reason, felt pressured to make an album for whatever reason, and he made Metal Machine music, and it was, I don't know. I mean, I think it's 4 songs, and I think they're divided up into like 10 to 15 minutes long each, and they're feedback. and he released it as kind of like a meme on people to be like, yeah, this is a fucking album. You don't like that shit? Suck my dick. And there were some weirdos out there in the 70s who were like, hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Of course, they would always get responses like, oh, which way did I look? I look this way, right?
I think so, yeah.
So the person you're talking to would look this way, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to do that, okay?
Okay. All right, I'll do this.
All right.
Hey, that's pretty good. And what would their people they're talking to say?
Wait, well, I think you said my line.
Wait, no, I said, hey, that's pretty good. Your line. Did you forget your line?
I did, yeah.
Okay, say, Lou Reed meant for that to be a joke too.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right, let's go again.
Okay, so from the top, ready?
Yeah.
And action. Hey, that's pretty good.
Lou Reed meant for that to be a joke.
And then they'd get all sad because they'd be like, oh, no, fucking. But it doesn't, regardless, it's still a cool album that was really ahead of its time. And it did go on to influence a lot of people in the noise and drone scenes decades later. So I am choosing that album as an album I think is pretty fucking cool. That generally is not well accepted.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so your turn.
Okay, cool. This is not going to take long at all. This is going to be very in and out. From one of my favorite bands ever.
What is that?
It's Dream Theater.
Can't
see it. Is that better? Worse? Whatever. Dream Theater, Falling into Infinity. They're already like a few albums in at this point. They've cemented themselves. Dream Theater is a progressive rock band, progressive metal band, so they write heavy metal music. Songs are generally long. The instrumentation is insane. They're amazing at their instruments, and it's very elaborate and ornate and all of these things. So mid to late 90s, they're demoing songs for their label. The label is like, hey, listen, you haven't had a radio hit in like 5 years, and you're probably not fucking going to if you have 14-minute songs, so write something commercial, or else. And quite the opposite of Lou Reed, actually. They said, oh, okay.
That's funny.
And this is their attempt, mostly in-house writing, and I'll get to that in a second. This is their attempt at writing an album that was supposed to satisfy a commercial marketability buzzwords. Synergy, that's it.
Horizontal. Ooh. What is it? Horizontal integration?
You're breaking up really bad.
How am I now?
Bad.
That's a bummer. What about, is it any better?
Nah, your mic is whacked out.
Oh, why?
I'm going to keep going. Hello. So Dream Theater was supposed to write something that was supposed to be very marketable, something commercial sounding, and they did. And for one of their songs, they actually brought in a songwriter, a hit songwriter in pop and rock, and he wrote with Bon Jovi.
Who was it?
Desmond Child.
Who was it? Desmond, how's my mic sound?
I don't know. It's not great.
All right, I'll deal.
It's not bad. So Desmond Child, to put into perspective, wrote a lot of hit songs with Bon Jovi. He wrote "Livin' La Vida Loca" for Ricky Martin, and he wrote the Thong Song.
No way.
Seriously? Yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
That song sucks.
So, I know. So he was brought in to co-write a song with Dream Theater, and he did. Now here's the thing, though. I get that this band was doing something that was very, very deeply uncharacteristic, not just for them, but for the world of progressive metal. Um, I don't care. The songs are so good, and the production. Kevin Shirley produced it, and he produced like big rock bands like Aerosmith, and I honestly forgot all of the other bands. But so the production is amazing. It sounds so good. Wow, the album, it's just great. The songs are great. It is still kind of heavy, and you have some solos here and there, but mostly like song substance. It's so there. I think that there are tracks you might like, Greg, and I know you're not much of a Dream Theater fan, but it's good. It's really, really that good.
Awesome.
Cool. Your turn.
You're gonna like this one too. All right. You know how I like to make you giggle? Oh, that's not. Sorry. It's not what it looks like.
What was?
I'm making you giggle, aren't I?
Yeah. All right. Yes. Excellent.
Silencer is a Swedish depressive suicidal black metal band. Now, depressive suicidal black metal, or DSBM, as foretold by the elders of the Shinto era. That's not an era, that's a religion.
Something seems
Ray.
off about this.
It's a historical fallacy. What? DSBM is a subgenre of black metal that comes predominantly from the atmospheric bands of the second wave to do black metal, like Burzum. I haven't particularly seen any like history of depressive black metal that links it to Burzum, but I mean, it seems kind of like it falls. So Silencer is one of the bigger names in DSBM, and along with bands like what's that band Nicholas Barforth is in? They're pretty good. Shining. I think they're also Swedish. Cold World is a fairly big name. I don't know. There's a few others, and they it is a slow to mid-paced black metal, which is fairly uncharacteristic of a lot of black metal. It is not a lot of blast beats. It's shrieked, wretched, howly, ghoulish vocals. It is dissonant, atmospheric, distorted guitars. It is, and it's meant to evoke an atmosphere. That's really the intention of DSBM, to make it a gloomy, sad, melancholic atmosphere is really the point of the music. And the vocals are supposed to reflect that atmosphere as being these pained howls of sorrow. Is that how you describe Natram from Silencer?
Well, Greg,
Howl's pains of sorrow.
I understand what the vibe is here with them. I've listened to the album, and I also enjoy it.
It's great.
Yeah. And I like the production. I like the music, and the atmosphere is there. And so to be paired with that atmosphere, you do need the pained, absolutely
shrieks of the
desperate
underworld.
Shriek of the underworld. Slightly missed the mark on this one, because it actually came out as
No, it's more like this. Leap! That's there's children sleeping. I'm waking up the dead.
I think I believe we've made our point with the vocals. They just sound like a person is shrieking.
Yes, and not like a shriek like mayhem, like shriek like that dude's shrieking. Like it's not like a description of the screams. It's like this is what a shriek is. Like Google define shriek, and whatever that definition is probably what Natramp from Silencer is doing.
There's nothing. Yeah,
I'm sorry, you were gonna say something.
Like, there's nothing musical about the vocal.
And I, for one, as someone who picked Metal Machine music as my last choice in this list, I like that. That's fine. I don't mind the non-musicality of it. That doesn't bother me. It bothers a lot of people, though, especially fans of more traditional black metal and black metal from the second wave with Mayhem and Darkthrone. This is a different vocal style because it's not just your average everyday growls and screams that you get in a lot of black metal music. It's really going to be far more extreme, and even when compared to other DSBM bands like Shining, it's going to be more theatrical, I'd say. And I think they did really try to make it fit the atmosphere they were going for, and I think they did well. But it's inarguable that a lot of people are going to find it funny, and I think that people are, you can argue whether or not doing that was the right choice. I mean, I don't know who produced this album. I feel like it was probably them. But if a producer had produced this, if there was a producer involved, I feel like it would have been a bit of an oversight if they didn't say, "You sure?"
Right.
Because I mean, it is very, just listen to Sterile Nails and Thunder Bowels are everyone's favorite Silencer song. It's a great song, but it does have a part where he leaps. He leaps audibly.
The famed leap.
The famed leap. And that's all I have to say about the album. I think it's fantastic. I think it's my favorite DSBM album. I think it goes great. It's better than Shining's 5. It's better than Cold World's Melancholy 2. I think it's absolutely great. But it has some vocals to get over. But once you do, it's really rewarding. And for any black metal fans that can get behind that sort of thing or do like atmospheric black metal, it is worth a few listens to try to get past the vocals. End cool. Scene. All right.
Awesome. This album isn't exactly about the album as much as it is about the band.
Interesting.
Yes. The band, all this is also a heavy metal album in that realm. And in the metal community, a lot of people don't like these guys. People don't like this band. Because, I don't know why.
I think I know what you're going to say. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think I know. Can you give me kudos if I guess right?
Well, take what's your guess?
Baby metal?
No.
Damn it.
I do like the newer Baby Metal album though. It's pretty good.
I know Carmen's a big fan, so I was wondering if maybe
I heard it's actually pretty cool. But no, it's actually these guys.
Oh, wow.
That's
good.
Is that blurry? Well, it's not exactly Asking Alexandria I like as much as it is that album. That was their first album, and it was back in like 2009-ish, 10. Stand Up and Scream is the name of the album. And the thing about Asking Alexandria is they were arguably, because you also had bands like Attack Attack and I don't know who else, who were doing this metalcore thing with synths and electronics and a good amount of electronica / EDM / dance / whatever you want to classify it as, thrown in and integrated very creatively with the metalcore. People don't like this band because, I guess, of their style, image, thing. And to be fair, every subsequent release has bored the shit out of me. There's a lot of bite to this album. It's so good. It's very heavy. And for me, in metal, breakdowns are kind of like ornamental, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I love the breakdowns on this album.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and coupled with like the production and the vocals that are just so probably produced, but they sound really good. The hooks are amazing. Every single song front to back is so catchy, and it's a long album too. So it's a good, substantial listen. And also how they integrate the electronica side and the synths. At the time, I never heard it done ever before, and I was like, what is this? Now I've heard other bands do it, and I think that this album is the finest example of that. Is that a breadstick? That's your garlic pain.
Garlic pain. Okay, so that's awesome, and it makes me want to listen to that album because I like synths. I like metalcore from time to time when I'm on a good day. But yeah, sounds cool. Send me a link, bro.
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay, so your third album that people don't like, but you do.
Do you think people don't like this album, or do you think everyone likes this album?
I think that's.
I think it has everyone.
I think it has some fans. I don't think it's universally hated.
It's not universally. I mean, that would be tough to find an album that's universally hated, especially because if there was an album that's universally hated, you know, I'd try to like it. Here we go, folks.
Yeah.
Look.
Saint Anger on my neck. He never gets respect. That's the snare drum, by the way.
Snare drum. That's the joke. That's the joke. People are like, Saint Anger, the snare drum, pretty fucking good, right? The snare drum, it doesn't sound as produced as their other albums do because it's looser and it sounds more gritty and it's a little loud. It doesn't sound like it was tuned very well. Fucking funny shit. Okay. There's several things I want to get out of the way for this album. And I have said this to Brian for probably years. In fact, certainly years.
I think for as long as I've known you,
I've bitched about
this. Topic of conversation, yeah.
Okay, I don't think I've ever talked about it before. So this is actually a pretty fine opportunity. Okay. I don't like Metallica. It's a similar thing with Lou Reed.
Yeah.
Their album... It's like Metallica to me.
If anybody makes a Lulu joke right now, swear to God.
I am sorry that I said Metallica and Lou Reed in the same sentence. So I don't like Metallica. You're gonna be like, hey, Greg, did you ever listen to Kill 'Em All? Like, no, I didn't try that one. Do you ever listen to Ride Lightning? Sorry, I didn't have that on CD for years and listened to it. I started out my musical journey. Well, not started out, but early on, I gravitated towards Metallica because they're catchy, they're heavy, and they're yeah. I do not much care for them these days. I'm not a thrash fan. Besides the point. Anyway, I don't care for Metallica is the point. Then they released an album called Saint Anger in what, 01?
03.
03. Okay, I was close. They came out with Saint Anger in 03, and they had a few singles on it, notably the title track, Frantic, and a few other cool songs. I picked that album up. I was like, hey, this is great. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill kill the lights. You know, it's not going to be just straight up like thrash and Damage Incorporated. You know, it's not going to be that sort of first 3 albums sort of Metallica that everyone likes to put on a pedestal, because it's gritty, it's down tempo. There isn't really double bass in it. It sounds more like a groove metal album. Like if they listen to a lot of like mid era Sepultura or something, it sounds like that, in that it's very melody focused, it's very harmony focused, it's very riff focused in a way that's not like thrash riffs. It's like riff focused in a way where there's a lot of thought put into the spaces between the notes, and it's very orchestrated, is I guess my point. And everything in the album to me has a place. I think that the vocals paired with the guitars sound great. I think they have a lot of, like, some of their catchiest shit easily is on that album, like Invisible Kid or Dirty Window, I think are 2 of the catchiest Metallica songs I've ever heard.
Yeah, those are actually 2 of my favorites on Saint Anger.
Yeah,
along with
probably my 2 favorite songs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's probably my 3rd favorite song. I mean, I think those 3 songs are great, and I think that Metallica fans don't like change too much, and they have this like golden era, like when Cliff Burton was in the band, man. When if Cliff Burton hadn't fucking died in that bus wreck, man. If Jason Newsted hadn't come in and wrecked the band, I mean, not all of them say that. A lot of people like the Black Album and Justice for All and shit, but they always are like Ride the Lightning, Saint Anger, and Master of Puppets. I mean, no one says Saint Anger. Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All, and Master of Puppets, and they hold this to be this ideal of like this is what metal is. And first of all, that's stupid in my opinion. And second of all, I think it's good for bands to change. I think it's good for bands to go out of their comfort zone. And this was definitely out of their comfort zone, and I think they did it really well. I think they executed it very, very nicely, because they came out with all this really catchy pop-oriented metal that was great. I mean, they had I don't see the issue. The snare drum, like I swear to God, man, like if you ever complain about a snare drum in an album as being the reason it's bad to any other album, people are going to be like, well, that's pretty inconsequential, isn't it? Like that ruined the album for you. It's like an hour long, and it's like, I hate the snare drum. Like, what do you hate about Saint Anger? The snare drum. It's like, it's a weird thing to me. It's very strange that would ruin an album, is the timbre of a snare drum. Ignore it, you douchebag. I don't know. Ignore the snare drum if you hate it so fucking much. Like, listen to anything. I don't know. It really gets my goddamn grapes, if you know what I mean. But it really picks my peaches.
Alliteration.
Alliteration. It really alliterates my Area 51. So I think, did you like that? Did that make you happy?
It's pretty good.
All right, thanks. That's where I stand on Saint Anger. That's my final album. I think I've over-explained it probably. I'm done. This video is probably really long. So
we were live. We were trying to get some more people.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine. They haven't said anything if they are there, which is fine, because this is going to be archived. So yeah, people will be able to watch it. So that's cool. And people can comment if you want to. Mm-hmm. But follow us on Twitter. We're at D-Chats. Like us on Facebook. You can find us. Try typing in D-Chats. And for all you viewers